And I've just grabbed David Finlayson. David is the Group Commercial Manager for Martogg. We want to talk about polypropylene, but we also want to talk, or I want to ask the question about Martogg's involvement distributing for VEP. But before we get into that, David, I want you to talk about your involvement with the plastics industry, because David has been involved in the industry for about 42 years, is that right?
That's right. I joined the plastics industry back in 1980, straight out of university.
Straight out there.
I joined Shell Chemical, and Shell Chemical at that stage was one of the polypropylene manufacturers that Australia had. The other one was Herxt, which has now become Quenos.
Yep.
And then there was ICI. So back in those days, there were 3 polypropylene producers in Australia. And now there's one with VEP.
The VEP. And so let's talk about polypropylene itself and Martogg. Let's go there. What are you producing at the moment? Let's talk about that. Where you're at with it.
Well, polypropylene is a really important product of ours.
It's all around us now.
Yes, it is. It's all around us now. We've been selling polypropylene, I guess, really since the middle part of the 1970s, when the business first started back in 1975. As I said, I can remember joining the industry in 1980, and I know that Martogg were selling ICI polypropylene back in those days. The industry has certainly changed a lot over those 40 years. We've now got to the point where there's only really VEP left producing polypropylene here in Australia. And the Martogg Group has been with VEP and its various precedent companies beforehand since all that time. So we've had a long history with selling polypropylene for what is now the VEP Group.
And it's incredibly versatile. Let's talk about all its different applications.
Oh, look, I sat down before we were going to do this and tried to write down all the things that I could think of that were made out of polypropylene, and I came up with a list which was about that long.
Pages and pages.
Pages and pages of things that it's been used for.
Which is great.
Well, it is, it's great. It's a very versatile material. Most people will see polypropylene when they go to the supermarket. So when you buy your snack foods, the biscuits, the flexible film or the soft plastic that's used to package those goods, that's made out of polypropylene. But when you buy your ice cream or margarine, that's also made out of polypropylene. So you can see there are 2 different types of packaging, but it's the same material.
Yeah, and people would not know that.
No, they won't, and I think that's where polypropylene becomes a very complicated story. It's a great material for food packaging, for example. I mean, it's food safe, it's microwavable, it's refrigerable, you can put it in the freezer, there's all sorts of great properties that it's got.
That's its value though, isn't it?
And that's
its versatility.
It's versatility. And that's why so many brand owners and fast moving consumer good companies use polypropylene as a packaging material.
What about recycling?
Recycling? Well, polypropylene is very, very recyclable. We recycle lots of polypropylene.
Yep.
Yeah. The challenge for polypropylene, I guess, is being able to get it from the consumer through the recycling system into a form that we can actually then use to make some of the products that we then put back out into the market.
Yeah, to make it circular, because it is.
Well, it is circular, but it's not circular in the same way as, say, PET. Polypropylene, as I say, I'm trying to give you a flavour of how complicated polypropylene is compared with something like PET. It has to go back into different end-use applications.
Yeah.
Right at the moment, there's no circular recycling of polypropylene back into food packaging, for example. There is technology that's been developed, and we haven't got it here. We haven't got it here yet, and we're quite hopeful that that technology will continue to get to the point where it becomes commercial, and we will get it here, but it's still a fair ways off.
But we will get it here. And what difference is that going to make to the industry?
I think it's going to make a lot of difference to the polypropylene industry for sure, and certainly those companies that use polypropylene as a material for their packaging.
Yeah.
I think that's the holy grail, if you like, to get polypropylene back into food packaging.
And we can design it accordingly.
Yes, you can.
From the very beginning.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that's important to think about for polypropylene and recycling is the notion of chemical recycling. I spoke before about VEP.
Yes.
We know that the VEP, because they make polypropylene here in Australia, there is some interest in them getting involved in chemical recycling here. They did a pilot project last year that involved KitKat, producing a KitKat flexible wrapper that was
Yes.
made out of chemically recycled polypropylene. So we know it's possible to be done. It's just a matter now of getting to the point where it's commercially possible to be done. But I think that's something that we probably will see sometime in the not too distant future.
Which is really exciting.
Very exciting.
Well, David, thank you so much for the chat. It's never ending. It's exciting. I'm really excited for the future of PP in this country.
Look, so am I. For a guy who's been in it for over 40 years,
Don't stop now.
I still get excited about polypropylene, which some people might think is a bit strange, but there you go.
Oh, well, no, I don't. Personally, I don't. But thanks again for the chat.
You're very welcome.